Alright, my name is Valerie Armstead. These are my 5 audience members. Monique, Jeremy, Karen, Bliss, and Takia. And this is my presentation. For many years, parents have dreamt of the perfect baby. Designer babies are that dream child. A designer baby is a baby whose genetic makeup has been artificially selected by genetic engineering. This is not a natural form of bearing children. These children are commonly referred to as the dream child or cheater baby. Designing babies should be illegal because it is unethical and it is very expensive, and there are biological risks involved. For one thing, there are many unethical modifications to babies who are being genetically engineered. Many of the modified babies are given unfair talents and traits, making them better than unmodified babies, such as intelligence or looks. Genetic engineering on babies may abolish disabilities and disorders, but we never know when a particular mutation can lead to a new virus or disease. Modified babies are given unfair advantages, leading unmodified babies to compete with their natural talents and traits. These babies are given no choice as to being modified. Designer babies are not guaranteed a success, and it is not a natural process of life. How would the genetically engineered baby feel as an adult? To always think about what they could have been like, or to wonder if their loved ones would still love them if whom they could have been. The parents who wanted the fair and brunette daughter may have passed up a sweet-tempered, red-haired son. Genetic engineering would get rid of the ethnicity your family might have carried for. Replacing one gene might accidentally replace 2. Genetic engineering not only destroys your genes, but also your cultural identity. Why replace the baby's grandmother's beautiful black Mediterranean hair for the soft, silky blonde hair gene from a stranger? Genetic engineering on babies completely destroys the mosaic of all the people before them. Another problem is the cost. The cost alone would target the rich and not the poor, intensifying the gap between the rich and the poor. Moreover, the price for each baby is $15,000 and $18,000. After having to pay such an expensive cost, the modifications are not guaranteed. The poor would have to face the possibility of the modifications being unsuccessful, making the process a huge gamble. The wealthy would be able to take more advantages, making the wealthy more powerful with unfair advantages such as traits, talents, and overall money. Designer babies would create a two-tiered society. It creates a new class system made up of genetically designed people and naturally made people. Only the rich would be able to afford the luxury and freedom to choose the futures that they want their children to have, and this could possibly lead to the invention of a flawless generation of perfect children that are not only born rich, but also have superior advantage over the poor people. We have already seen gender discrimination and class discrimination, but this designer baby debate raises a very crucial concern regarding gene discrimination. Imagine a world where people were discriminated because of their genes. How would people be able to overcome that? Designer babies would be the spark to that type of prejudice. This is what is meant by interfering with the law of nature. When everything is predetermined, there is no room for uniqueness. The people in the world would start to become less unique because babies would have a trend. Everything from what type of skin color they should have to what color eyes are popular. If designer babies carried on, it would possibly start a difference on being a designer baby, such as being a brand name baby or a generic baby. Designer babies would completely intensify the gap between the rich and the poor. Here's a quick look at my audience. Monique, Jeremy, Karen, Bliss, Takia. We, designer babies, also have biological risks. Taking out a certain gene for something may add a disability or disorder that may not have been there in the first place. Apart from not fully getting the ideal results, there could also be the possibility that other health complications could arise in the designer babies. It is complex, and any mistake can alter the lives of many generations. Designer babies are not just personally affected, it affects generations to come and all of their futures. Designer babies would have to live with irreversible genes and potentially harmful traits. Critics then believe that such methods of genetic engineering can result in the creation of a whole new race of people. Designer babies could become superhumans with dangerous talents and traits, leaving people with their natural traits and talents to fend for themselves. Taking out a gene for high blood pressure could replace it with Marfan syndrome, only making it worse. Which one would you prefer in the long run? Whenever human beings try to interfere with the laws of nature, it is likely to have some benefits, but not without some greater flaws. The consequences could be a disaster. The whole world could be changed by a newly added disorder or disease because of one mistake a genetic engineer made. Thus, there are more cons to designer babies than there are pros, making designer babies an unethical, expensive, biologically risky process. Genetic engineering of babies is not needed. Why take a huge risk when you could go for a natural, surprising child, which then would be able to raise and call them your own? Clothes and houses were meant to be designed, not babies. These are my audience members: Monique, Jeremy, Karen, Bliss, and Tykia.